Hi everyone, welcome back to Our Hollywood. I'm Daniel,
I'm Kim.
and today is our season 2 finale. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Season 2. Um, what a
We're taking it light today also because Daniel has like finals weeks and I
yeah.
feel like crap because I'm on my period. So
Mhm.
I'm so sorry that this is like not like a grand
finale.
I guess. But also like season 2 finales of shows I feel like are very like, okay, what direction are we taking it now? You
And that's what
know?
this is.
Yeah, this is. Oh my God. Yeah, it is. Wow.
Okay. Well,
Cool.
also like
I'm glad I justified that in my head.
no, but we have some big episodes this like the round table and like
Yeah.
the double episodes, like a lot of our episodes.
A groundbreaking season.
Okay. Yeah, no, like a lot of our episodes would be like, oh, this is our longest one. And then like next week I'd be like, no, just kidding. This is our longest one. Like that happened like almost every week. So yeah, anyway, so before we get into like our little season roundup and refocusing and that kind of thing, we're gonna talk about what we watched this week.
So we both went to movie theaters.
Yeah, but I don't want to
I know, we can just talk about going
to
movie
okay,
theaters and
fun.
COVID.
Okay, which did you go to an AMC or a Regal or like what?
AMC.
Okay, so then we did have different experiences. Okay, so I went to go see a movie and it was like not a very popular movie, so like we weren't afraid that like
None of the movies that are out right now are very popular.
I'm just scared for when Black Widow comes out. I feel like that's the first big.
Oh,
I mean, Fast and Furious, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think I would go see like a blockbuster movie in the theater. Well, actually, no.
I totally would.
You know, finish your thought. Because I have thoughts about
because we got all my family fully vaccinated and like we wear your mask, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they're like you can take it off to eat. Because like I mean they have to like make money from the food, but I'm like, well, if people are taking off their masks.
Well, I don't know. At the theater that you're at, do they not put like 2 spaces between you guys?
Oh, okay. So at the one I went to, basically when you reserve the seats, it blocks off 2 seats next to you and the 3 seats in front of you. Or 2, I guess, well, because it was 2 people, but so like 3 in front of you, but like it blocks off the space around you on the website.
I don't think the one I went to did in front because there's like a wall that's like you can't see the people beneath you.
Oh, well, no, it does
but
that in front and behind.
At the theater you're talking about, yeah, you can see the people in front of you.
What wall?
At Plaza, there was a wall. I don't know how to explain it. There's
like
just
a one?
No, it was like it's always been there, I guess.
Oh.
Because it's stadium seating, and the wall is just higher up.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, so I took my mask off to eat.
Well, I didn't eat. Well, I also wasn't hungry, but like, so basically they tell you like you can take off your mask to eat, but you have to leave your mask on if you're like not eating, which is like fair. I always feel like movie theaters are just not safe places. Like they never.
I'm always on edge.
Yeah, they've never like.
And I worked at a movie theater.
So you know the scary things.
Oh my God. When I worked at the movie theater and the people at door didn't check bags. Let me tell you.
Did they have to? Was it a requirement?
We're supposed to, but they don't.
No, that's so scary. Which, like, I get it. Like, you want to sneak in food, but like, I feel like we would just ignore it.
No, every time I worked door, I would always check bags. Well, I'm sure there's times that I didn't.
Yeah. But
I would look in the bag and see if there's food, and I'd be like, because that's not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And if
it is, just want to make sure you don't have a gun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, we don't want to die here, guys.
Exactly.
Like, eat your hot Cheetos in the theater.
And I always try to pick a seat that's like
an escape,
kind of like farther away from like the door.
Too.
And the seat that I picked in the movie I went to by myself, it was like right, because you know how it's like a tunnel.
Yeah.
And then comes out. I was like right there.
Okay.
And I was like,
so scary that we have to plan our movie theater seating for a quick escape in case we get shot.
That is insane. But also, like, I understand, like, they don't want people looking in bags, but then put a metal detector there.
Yeah.
Put a fucking metal detector there.
And
since people can't, like, touch bags and stuff.
A second of talking about security in a movie theater.
But it's important because
it's so
like
scary.
it's sad that we have to feel scared to go to a movie.
And I thought it was the only one, but then I saw this TikTok and it was like me, like my eyes shifting with making sure that the school shooter isn't coming, the shooter isn't coming in during the middle of the previews or something. And I was like, I literally do every time one of the, you know how like
I can never fully relax.
No, that every time the employees like are checking, you know how they check. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Like, it always goes through my head. It's so sad.
We always had to do theater checks, and I always felt so bad, especially because we're carrying the light usually. Oh my gosh. Working in a movie theater is so fun, but also so scary. You know what I was telling my friend? Because also I'm thinking about applying to a movie theater. I'm just working there during the weekend, like nighttime, because I'm like, I need to save money like quick, you know? And I was close to my manager, so like
she was on our podcast.
Yeah. And also I was good at concessions, and the reason why I like concessions so much is because if somebody came in, I could go to the back really easily, or like I could like escape through the front really easily, because in my theater the doors was like right there, and also like usually to do it like inside like it's so messed up that I think like that.
No, but it's
valid.
It's fair, because at my work, I don't think I've said where I work. Maybe I have. I don't know. But at, a job that I used to have, there was a time where we literally got attacked, and like there was like no escape.
Okay, I got attacked at concessions also.
Like what? Like
there was a drunk guy, and he literally, you know,
like, the video. Oh yeah.
He threw. Okay, so I was working concessions, and like concessions and box office at the theater I worked at were connected. And this guy, he was like drunk because we sold alcohol. Also, selling alcohol in a theater is so. Some people just abuse that. Also, why would you want to buy it there?
I love the little like themed drinks.
Yes,
but like.
But why are people getting drunk at the movie theater? I don't understand.
That's such a weird place to get
the amount of people that were drunk in the theater, especially like 50 Shades of Grey time. The amount of wine bottles. It was insane. Anyways.
I mean, there's some movies I wish I was drunk for, but.
Yeah. But I'm not belligerent when I'm drunk. You know what I mean? But they're like full on plastered. Like, it's okay to get a little like hee like haha.
But maybe like save that for like the night out.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
For AMC theaters.
But I think this guy like had, because there was a bar across the street. Anyways, he like came in super drunk, and he literally wasn't making any sense. And I guess his girlfriend left him. Were you alone? No, I was with my coworker, but he literally left me.
What do you like?
Hold on, I'm getting there. So
I've heard this story before, but like it's okay. Go.
Oh my god, because I got refreshed too, because I just saw my coworkers, because it's so funny because we all worked at Regal, but we went to go see a movie at AMC. Like, we rented a theater at AMC, but it's because Regal isn't open yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not important. So the guy, his girlfriend left him because he literally like jumped over a wall and like ran away from her, and then obviously she left because she's like,
wait, in the theater this happened?
No, this is outside, but I could see everything because it was all glass.
This is the backstory. You were watching. Yeah. Okay.
It was like glass windows, so like I could see everything going on. And then he comes back, sees that she's not there. He like tries to pick up a trash can outside, but it's like bolted into the ground, so he only got the top, you know. And I literally was like, what is going on? And then he started walking in, and I was like, what the
911.
Yeah, I was like, and then he because we were on the other side of the box, we're on the box office side, and he came on the far concession side. But I saw him walk in, and he just grabbed a stanchion and like whipped it, and like it hit the TV and like broke it. And my coworker literally left me.
And where did you go?
Well, because I was like, what do we do? I was like, what?
It's so scary. I was scared. You don't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, I was super scared, and I was like, what? And then I just hear the door open, and he didn't even hold it open for me or be like, come. He just left. And I was like, how fucking rude. And then we were like pounding on the manager's door, and they were not opening. And I was like,
were they not there?
No, they were there. They were just fucking watching videos or something. And they told me, they were like, I think we were just like watching videos or something. We didn't.
Were you like screaming?
Yes, because they didn't open it fast enough, and I was like, please open the door. And then I was like traumatized for like.
Did you? What time was it? Was it near closing?
It was late. It was late.
So did you close like right after, or no? You saw the movies.
Well, at my theater, the concessions got to leave like as soon as like the first movie started, like 15 minutes after the first movie started.
Wait, so then what happened to the guy?
He literally bolted, and he got arrested later. They found him because, I mean, you could see his face super clear on the tape. And it's so funny. Like, I have a video of me reacting to what was going on, and it's still on my Finsta. I have to find it and like post it or something. But it's literally like the funniest.
I wish I had footage of when I got attacked, because like, so what the little backstory was, like, basically this we were warned that like there was this couple going around and like committing fraud at other versions. It was the same store, but in different chain locations. And so they were doing the same strategy, and it was like working. And so one of the last person that they did called like the district manager and was like, warn all the other ones. So he sent out an email with the description of the couple and everything. And so my manager was like, read over this really quickly just in case they come in. So I was about to read it, and then I got distracted because like there was a lot of customers. So then I just kept working and whatever. And so we're like, when I was checking someone out, I was doing register, and then my manager like is like trying to tell me something. But if you, I think you've noticed through this podcast, I'm the most oblivious person to exist on this planet. I'm
nodding, by the way.
I couldn't like, I didn't know she was trying to tell me something, and so she was like tapping my shoulder, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm with the like. I was like, oh, hold on, let me finish this like transaction, and she was like, they're right there, and I had no idea what that meant. I was like, what is she talking about? Whatever. And so I finished up the transaction, and then the guy and they were like next in line, the couple, and so they come up to me, and so I was like, oh, blah blah, like, and then my manager was like standing right next to me, and I was like, oh, and then I like clicked what was happening. And so they start giving me a bunch of stuff, like a lot, and then the scam or whatever that they were doing was like with this credit card that was owned by the store. It was like a brand, like a branded credit card or whatever. And so like I was like, I had it, and then I was like, I don't know what to do. And so she I don't know, we weren't trained for a situation like this.
Yeah,
they don't tell us what to do. So she literally just goes, well, to be honest, I already know what you guys are trying to do. And like, no, I know. She was so bold. She was so bold. She said, I already know what you guys are trying to do. Like, I guess someone had called security. I don't remember when this happened, but someone had called security, and she was like, I already know what you guys are trying to do. Like, we're not going to do this. Like, we can help, like, no, bye. And she started taking the stuff away. And then they get like the girlfriend had already started leaving, but the guy was still here, and he was like yelling at us, blah, blah. And then he left. And so we were like, oh my God, that was so scary, blah, blah, blah. And there was another employee in the front of the store and another one in the back that had just called, I almost said 911, that had to call the security. And so we were just like talking about it, whatever. There was still people in the store, right? And other people were like, the customers were also like, oh, that was so weird, like that, like blah blah. And then I was like, oh yeah, we knew that this was gonna happen, like whatever. The guy comes back in, and he like running and like very aggressively and starts grabbing things and then flinging it at us, like, but not just like he like, there was like plushies, but there was also like metal, like heavy things. And I was like, oh my God. And so
he's so mad he got caught.
And I was like trapped behind the register. So I was like, oh my God.
And that's like a small register too.
Yeah. And there was like a little, like a girl and her mom right here. So I was like, oh my God. So my manager like grabbed me, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I went around and I was like, hey, and then the guy starts running. But then the employee that was in the front, like tries to stop him. And like this employee, God bless her, but she was very tiny. Like maybe 5 something, and this man was over 6 feet, and so he shoves her in, like he pushes her so hard, and the back of her head. No, okay, wait, let's let the laugh come out because this part isn't funny.
I'm just like envisioning in my head.
No, it literally like David and Goliath moment, but it's not that same kind of ending. But like the guy pushes her really, really hard into this. Like we have everything in the store is like metal basically, and so it pushes her into the back of the corner of this metal thing, and she's on the ground, knocked out. And I was like,
God.
I literally was like, this could not be happening. And so I
don't think you've ever told me this story.
I don't think I've gone into detail about it because I still work there, and so I was like, I don't know if I can say this, but I don't care anymore. And so I was like, oh my God, the customers were like screaming. And so I was like, what's going on? No, yeah, it was so chaotic. And then I was like, I'm going to lock the doors. I don't know if this is allowed, but I'm going to lock the doors. Yeah. So I like pulled the door shut and locked them.
I think that's what I would do.
Yeah, because I was already in the front. And then I was like, oh my God, hello, ma'am, are you okay? The girlie that was on the ground. And so I locked the doors. And then my manager was like, call 911. And I was like, okay. So I called 911. And first of all, kind of a little bit of attitude, but like I get it, like they're like saving lives, whatever, but like a little bit of attitude. And I was just like, they were like, where are you? And I told them the mall, and they're like what store? I was like, I don't know how to describe the layout of this mall to you. And so I just gave the phone to my manager because I didn't know what was going on. And so we were like checking on this girl, and I was like, everyone like go to the back, because we didn't know if the guy was gonna like try breaking the glass or something. So we're like, everyone just go to the back of the store. And I was like, they're probably stealing, but whatever. And then so we called 911. 911's like, okay, we're sending the cops over. We're making sure that our other coworkers, okay, she's like awake now. And then the mall security shows up. Keep in mind, we called them before the couple had even come up to my register.
Security is so useless.
They were walking so slow. They were like knocked on the glass. I was like, are you serious? We were already attacked. And so whatever, we let them in. Cops are on their way. And then I'm like, this guy comes up to me.
What the cops are going to do too? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
They did nothing.
No, they didn't do anything.
In my situation
they were literally laughing at me.
The cop, like actual cops.
Yeah, so, okay, whatever, the cop showed up. Also, side note, some guy had been in the back this whole time and had headphones in, so didn't hear anything. So he comes up to the register and, like, sees all this chaos. He's like, can I pay for this? And I was like, did you miss what just happened? And so, like, I wrapped up with whatever just happened. And so I'm like, and then my manager's like, I think you all have to stay here because the cops are probably going to want to take a statement or something. So everyone was like, okay, fine, we'll stay here. And so
the way the cops at my situation, I forgot the cops came because they did nothing.
How long? Like quickly or?
No, they came like an hour later. I mean, they didn't even ask me for a statement. They asked my manager, and I'm like, my manager didn't see anything.
That's so. I don't understand. Okay, so basically, when the cops showed up, it was like 2 or 3, and then we let them in, and they like took down everyone's names and then like asked them what they saw, what happened, if we had the names, whatever. My manager showed them the email. And then I messed up saying something because I was in shock. Like, I don't remember. I think I said the wrong phone number. Mm-hmm. Like I said my home phone number because I had like I don't know what was going on with my brain, but they were like asking for my phone number and I said my home phone number. And then when I was getting to the last numbers, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's like my house number. And it's like not even working anymore. And then they were like laughing at me. And I was like, sir, I'm shaking. My hands were shaking and you're like laughing at me. Whatever, I give them my real number. And then they just didn't do anything. And then the worst part of it all was that we called our like main manager and we're like, we're not like not okay right now. And he's like, well, you have to open again. So we had to work another hour.
I can't.
I was like, this is the worst place ever.
That's what I'm like. Corporations are literally like, they don't care.
Yeah, they really don't. They're like, you have to stay open. And I'm like, do you understand that I don't even think I can say things? Like, I don't think my brain is like processing right now.
Yeah, I was crying after it happened to me. Yeah. I'm an emotional person.
Oh. But
also like, it was like, just like a weird situation.
It's still scary when you're not expecting it. Well, I mean, you're never going to be able to expect it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about it like that.
Anyway, so that's what we watched. Oh, wait, did you say what you watched? No.
No. I watched Promising Young Woman.
For the first time?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought it was like really a beautiful looking film and I liked generally the plot, but I didn't like, I feel so conflicted about it. Me because too. I really liked it overall, but then I couldn't stop thinking about like actual rape survivors. And like thinking about like what they would think about this, and I haven't had the time to like.
I went on Letterboxd and I was reading reviews like of people who are actually sexually assaulted, and it's very split. Some people that were sexually assaulted was like, yes, I love this.
That's what I heard too.
Hated it. I think my main problem was like with the ending. The
ending. I literally was like, is this really how it's gonna end?
My mouth was like this. Oh wait, you guys can't see it's a podcast, but like
it was a jar.
Yeah, I was just like, this is not real.
But it was really pretty. Like I really liked the aesthetic of the film. That was really good. And also like, of course, they did such a good job casting Bo Burnham.
Well, the thing was like she casted all the like men are comedic actors, like male comedians.
So they're like likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
scary. It's true. That's so true. I mean, if you don't know what the movie is about, like it's I don't even know how to.
It's like a twist on the rape revenge kind of movie where I almost said this woman is the friend revealed at the beginning or no? That's like as you go on.
It's like you figure it out as you go on.
Yeah, but basically something happened with her friend and she's trying to get revenge for what happened, and it's like she goes from person to person that were involved in what happened with.
Well, some of the guys were random. Like she would just like overall would like be like nice guys aren't actually nice guys.
Oh, she would also like hunt for like predatory men.
Yeah.
That was also a thing.
Yeah, and I feel like the beginning was just kind of like, see, even nice guys aren't actually nice guys. And I mean, it's true. It's so true. Like there are guys, and I think it opened good conversation about what sexual assault kind of looks like and creepy behavior that leads to sexual assault looks like, because some of these guys, especially, they don't quote unquote know that they assaulted somebody or were making people uncomfortable when they were just blatantly ignoring the signs. So I think that was like a good way to like teach people who are watching what that looks like and that it is wrong. So I think it did a good job in that. But yeah, I would say like, but all my friends loved it and I was still processing.
I do still love it. I think I still like, I would still recommend people to watch it.
Yeah. I would say watch it, but no, it's kind of like heavy at times.
Yeah. Okay. Skip for like 2 or 3 minutes because we're about to spoil, because I want to discuss the ending. Plus, it's been out for a while, so like, it's not that bad. But like, skip ahead because we're gonna spoil the end of the movie. She finally gets
to confront them. Like, she's always known who it was.
Yeah.
But
she like hatches this plan, and you're like, oh, the big plan is coming. Like, it's the people who like essayed her friend, and so it's like building to this big moment, and then she's like about to like do. I don't know. She was trying to brand him, right? It seemed like, I don't know, we didn't even get to see,
I think so.
Because then he gets loose of the little handcuff and he like kills her. But not only does he kill her,
but it was like brutal.
It was like
it was long.
It was like a one shot, like he's suffocating her, and I was like,
my mouth was literally fully like,
and there's no music. It's literally you're just sitting there watching it, and I was like, this is
I think intense. That's the point. Like it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable.
It is the point, but like it was a bit much.
It was a lot.
Especially because you're like sort of rooting for, I mean, you are rooting, like, yes, she is hurting people, but like you're rooting for her throughout the movie. Like, she is the hero of the story. And then like it just like, I was like, this is unsatisfying, and this better not be how it ends. And I was like, maybe it's like fake, she's gonna like survive.
I thought she was like pretend. I don't know why she was flailing so much. She could have.
This is what I always say in movies, like, why do you just pretend you're dead and they'll like let loose and then that's your chance?
Because she doesn't have any restraints on her. So that was like my only quip with it at that point, especially because she was smart the entire movie. So I don't think this one thing would have thrown her off much.
So then I was like, okay, this is already, and allegedly it was supposed to end like that. That's what the writer and director, what's her name?
Emerald Fennell.
She was like, it was gonna end like that, but people were like, no, ma'am, that was unsatisfying, and like
it's still unsatisfying. I think
it is still unsatisfying, but I think it did it like, I was like, okay, fine, like I'll take it. But basically, it, like at the wedding of the guy, so like they cover up her murder. And you think, oh, they like quote unquote she lost or whatever, and then at the wedding of the guy, she like has this little Pretty Little Liars moment where she like,
I was like, she was smart enough to like
know she was gonna die.
But how did she know she was gonna? Oh my god! I didn't even think about it. Like
no. It was like she said it as like in case she doesn't make it, because like something was like scheduled to release in case she died, and so she did die, so it released.
Oh, because she could have stopped it if she was alive.
Yeah.
Okay. God, I was about to spiral.
No. Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, yes, I guess it makes sense. I guess. And so, whatever. The cops are showing up, and then it ends with a little Pretty Little Liars moment. But I think what my issue with it, and everyone else's issue with it, was like, she's leaving it to the cops, and like the whole point of the movie is that the cops didn't do anything. So she's just gonna, I guess it's like her last resort. But again, it's a movie and the writer could have changed it a little bit. And I was just like, and people were like, cops are like, I mean, the like justice system is like notorious for not doing anything about sexual assaults. And
she could have made it public. She could have like
even more of a Pretty Little Liars. Just stick with that.
Gone to like a journalist and came to her about the whole story, because I feel like journalists not love to expose, but their whole purpose is to like expose the truth. And especially with it being like a doctorate program, and like I think she alluded that other people it had happened to. So I'm sure a journalist would have loved to, and I feel like that would have been a more satisfying.
It would have been really cool,
and encourage people to go, especially
to
when
the media instead.
Exactly, because I feel like especially when you're a person in power, even if it's like a doctor, any sort of person in a power dynamic that they're more powerful than you, I feel like the best way to go is through the media, because the media goes to the public and the public are able to make a judgment call about it rather than the cops that will just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, so the way it's revealed in the movie, like you start to hear the sirens, but it would have been interesting if like the news van pulled up and then more news vans pull up and like a lot, and then like the little cops in the corner. But like it would have been, I think it would have been more. Yeah, that's a good point.
Wow, we just saved the ending.
Emerald, hit us up. No, I'm kidding. Like I think
it was still good.
It's her vision, and like that's what she. I do think her message came across.
Yeah, it's still a good movie. She killed it on the directing.
She did.
That's like her first big film, no?
Yeah.
She did fantastic. Yeah. Also, I found out she's a Libra, so.
Oh, God. But I also think it still makes sense for her message of like, this is how far she had to go to get justice.
Yeah.
Like, she literally had to die to get justice for her friend.
Yeah.
So like, I get it.
That was good.
But it's still, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Bill Sheck, I get it. But like, whatever. Was that the movie you watched, or did you watch it?
I watched Scott Pilgrim. The second time.
I don't know if I can engage in discussion.
I mean, like, I understand how like it is problematic, but also like I was thinking about, because it was the first time I watched it since
Did you watch the IMAX one?
It wasn't IMAX. It was just like the sound was like intense sound or something.
That's IMAX.
No, it's not. IMAX is like big screen and big sound. It was just like regular screen, big sound. Oh. Yeah. I did not like the beginning of like. Not the movie. I mean the experience, because it was like, oh, Dolby Digital sound, and it would like it made like it made this noise that like shook the seats, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
An IMAX movie?
No.
I saw. It was like a big. I don't remember. It might have been Alice in Wonderland, the second one, in like 3D IMAX. Oh no, it was the Force Awakens. It was we saw it in IMAX like with 3D. It's so loud.
Yeah, I don't like loud movies like very much.
Oh, your poor little ears.
Yeah, my sweet little ears. But I literally am. I remember when I saw Promising Young Woman with my friends, I told them to turn it down because it was too loud.
You told the theater to turn that volume?
Yeah, I've had people tell me that, but I'm nice about it. I'm not like, it's so fucking loud. I'm like, could you please turn down the sound? I don't think
I've ever been. Well, to be honest, my hearing is a mess.
Well, I think it's because I know that they can do it because I worked at a movie
I didn't even know that was an option.
And I know it's not like a big deal. So I think that's why I was like okay with asking.
And was anyone else there?
Yeah, it was all of my.
Oh, but you rented it.
Yeah.
Okay, so never mind. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the way I was, even though I know that's not what happened, but it was like there was a big theater and you were like, can you turn it down?
Oh,
no, it's not.
And all my friends thought it was loud too. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, the second
really good
for Promising Young Woman. Yeah, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I guess I didn't like. This is the first time I watched it with the new information, but like new perspective of like Scott dating, because I just never registered in my head for some reason that Scott was dating Knives, like, and she was underage and he was like 20, she was 17 and he was 22, but also like everybody in the movie is like being like, you're dating an underage girl, like, and I was like, oh, okay, at least they have that, because I was like, yeah. So it made me feel a lot better, and also like everyone's making fun of Scott the entire time. Yeah,
okay, because I thought I didn't know anything about the movie when I first watched it, and I watched it very late because I just refused. And I was like, okay, let's see what the hype is about.
It's such a comfort movie for me.
I get it. I have comfort movies that people hate, but like, I started watching it, and I was just like, I love Edgar Wright. First of all, let's just start with that. Edgar Wright, please stop listening. I beg of you. Please stop listening.
You're one of my favorite directors,
sir. So that being said, stop listening right now, please. But Scott is just so unlikable.
Well, I mean, it's not Edgar. It's from a graphic novel.
Did he not write it?
I don't think so.
I thought he.
But but the energy of Scott is like very similar to the graphic novels, because I was like a fan. Like I read every single graphic novel. I saw the shit in the theater.
So he like sucks in then maybe I just don't like the story. I just don't like this character. I don't care
about the character.
I don't care about the situation. Like he like wants this girl, and she's like, "You need to find my exes." I'm like,
yeah, I get it.
Like I love seeing the cast in these costumes.
Yeah,
love that. Stay for Chris Evans and Brie Larson. That's about it. That was the only redeeming quality for me. Yeah,
it is a very polarizing movie, but I think. I just have too much emotional connection.
Oh yeah, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he did. Well, he wrote it with Michael Bacall. Who's Michael Bacall?
No, Brian O'Malley is the.
So Michael Bacall and Edgar Wright wrote it. Interesting.
Yeah.
A little co-writing. The cast is great. Aubrey Plaza.
I think it's I think
it's fun.
because I read the graphic novels.
Oh.
So I think that's why I like very much enjoyed, and also like I was like kind of like an emo scene kid. Mm-hmm. So it was just my fucking shit.
When you had the little bang.
Yeah, the side bang. I wore like the panda hat. I was like full emo kid. Like
I just have flashbacks.
Yeah, so I think that's why I like it so much. So like it's really confusing to me when people don't like it, but like I get it now. I get it because I've seen like the videos about people critiquing it, and like it's totally valid, the critiques of it, but like I'm never gonna stop liking it no matter how hard I try.
Because you can't like undo the memories.
You can't undo the emotional attachment. Like I love that movie so much. Like I can't express to you how much I love that movie. Yeah. It's just it's fine. Like it's just a fun movie, I think.
I won't deny that it's a fun movie. Yeah. The editing is fun, the stylized everything is fun.
I think especially because I think it was really different from the movies that when it first got released, because it very much honed in on the graphic novel aspect of it.
Oh yeah, like now, okay.
Now there's a lot. If that was the first one you ever saw, I'm sure you would like.
Yeah, probably.
Be like, whoa.
My world would have been shaken, but it's not, and so that's why I was like.
Mm-hmm. So I had to remind myself that people didn't have that same experience, and I think that's another thing, which also leads into our topic today. Like people are gonna have like different perspectives of like things that you love. Somebody might not love it because they weren't in that time period and they didn't have like the life experience that you had.
That's so interesting.
Going into it. Like I think about that all the time.
It's also interesting how like
every time you say you hate a movie that I love, I'm like
every time.
I feel like there's a lot of movies that I like that you don't like.
Okay, name another one.
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Have I said it on this podcast?
Probably.
Name your favorite movies. What's your 4 on Letterboxd? What's your 4?
Oh, Her.
Okay.
Line. Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Oh, that one. Yes. All of those.
I didn't hate it though.
I know, but you don't like. You're not obsessed with it like I am. But also, it goes the same way. Like you love sci-fi and like fantasy and stuff, and I don't love that. You just cannot. Like I get it. I can see where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, I don't hate Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Like it was fun, like seeing Megan Fox and Lindsay Lohan.
I don't love Harry Potter, but I get it.
Yeah,
so it's same thing.
And I like looking back, I'm like, well.
Right. I think because I'm a Libra again, and I get really personally offended whenever somebody doesn't like agree with me or something.
I used to be like that, but now I'm just like, I don't care.
I'm better about it now, but I think the only time it hurts my feelings now is if it's my friends. If it's like random people, I'm like, oh, okay, go off.
I feel like it's not like we're being like, you're weird.
I know.
Me. Like,
well, it's like another form of like anxiety of like my friends. It's going to spiral into like my friends hating me. Like it's a bigger issue that like I have dealt with through therapy and I'm still continuously working on.
Also, oh wait, never mind. I think I already said that. That like when we say I feel like, I'm like, well, that's a really good strategy for therapy. So it's fine that we should talk like that.
I think that's where I learned it from, to talk like that.
Maybe.
And using when you're in arguments with people, you're supposed to use I statements.
Yes, because that makes it sound like you're not attacking them.
I think that's why. We talk like that.
I think I'm annoyed with more of I think. The word think annoys me.
The thing is that we are annoyed by it when we're listening back to it because we're the one speaking. But I'm sure majority of people that are listening to it, they don't focus on that. Podcasts are doing anything on the internet is so fucking weird. Because you perceive it way different. Because I think I'm so annoying in my TikToks. But I guess people like it.
Not really. I think you like.
Because I always think I'm super cringy. And my friends are like, you look cute. Like, shut up.
Cringy?
Cringy. Because I think.
Like in what?
I don't know. Just.
No, but that's what TikTok is. Like the little transitions and the little like action. Like, that's what TikTok is.
Yeah. I know. I just am very hard on myself. And we talk about that later in this podcast. So that was such a long pre-show.
Not really. The whole episode's only less than an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I hope that was interesting to hear about like our stories and stuff. And I'm interested to see you guys here. Like, oh God. I literally had a brain fart because I was thinking about what I'm doing after this podcast. And like my two thoughts like jumbled.
Oh my God, I have to go do things right now. Anyway, out of break.
This week's episode, we don't have a guest. And what happened? Okay, so this is like why it's important to critique film, TV, and media. And what started this conversation? Oh, Daniel frantically sent me like a screenshot of like a random, not random. He is random.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like where did you even get that from?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
The screenshot of the screenwriter talking about here.
Oh, that was it James Gunn? I think
no, it wasn't James Gunn. James Gunn was quoted at the end of it, but
I found it because James Gunn quoted. I followed James Gunn on Twitter, and so that's how that other one popped up for me.
Find it.
But basically, the screenwriter was like,
he said, as a general rule, I won't publicly talk about movies I don't like. I know the struggle to get made and respect the filmmaking process way too much to shit on anyone's work. I find it easier to talk about films that are exciting and fun rather than dunking on those that fell flat. Gunn, so James Gunn, I guess, because there's multiple of them, saw the tweet and replied, same, movies are hard to make and too many people put every ounce of themselves into films that still don't turn out well. For me to publicly denigrate?
I've never heard that word.
Okay, smart person word.
Yeah. No.
Them at dinner parties and the work of dead filmmakers are a different story for me. By the way, this is my role as a filmmaking professional. That doesn't mean I think all of you shouldn't or can't talk about the movies you like. So Daniel sent me a screenshot of that, and then
what time was it, by the way? Can you?
It was not that late.
Oh, really?
No, it was not that late.
It's probably like a Wednesday too.
Yeah, it was like out of the blue, like, and sent me that, and he was like, he just sent that to me, and I was like, wait, okay, I didn't. You didn't say anything. You just sent that. Or you were like, I'm panicked or something like that.
I probably, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, fair, because I've had that thought too, about like this podcast and like what worrying like who is gonna listen to it, and if it would offend somebody, you know, and so it's like a valid fear. I feel like, but I think it's also stupid that that's a fear.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because it's like I think.
Like, we should be allowed to critique things.
So that's why we decided to make this episode about it. Exactly. So yeah, you sent me that, and we like exchanged like voice memos, and I was just like talking you through like your panic, and you're like, okay, fair.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, we need to stop. And like, I'm never going to talk about any movie ever again. And then Kim explained, I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But anyway, that's what we're talking about today. It's also the season finale. Yeah.
But I thought this was like a good season finale because it's like, why would we even want to start this podcast in the first place? And like, yeah, we talked about it in the first episode, like ever, but I think it's also, I don't think we really talked about why it's important to critique things, you know?
Yeah, I think when we first started when we did the first episode, we didn't know how it was going to like play out.
Yeah, like, we didn't know it was going to be like this long of an endeavor. We were in it, like we didn't really anticipate it to be.
I also didn't expect a lot of, some episodes are like really aggressive. I'm listening back and I'm like, oh my god, we need to stop drinking coffee during the episodes. And there was one, there was one, oh my god, I don't even remember which one it is, and I got really upset about something, and I was like, Daniel, please relax. I don't know, I was just like, this is too much for me. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, it's super fair, and like some things can be taken out of context and stuff, but like sorry. Go ahead. No, because what also started the spiral was because another thing that like, and I know we're not YouTubers, but like what brings down a lot of these YouTubers is their podcasts. Yeah. Shane Dawson podcast, David Dobrik podcast.
But listen to the things that they're talking
I know we're not saying anything like that, but I was still like, the podcasts are the downfall.
Yeah. I guess, but I don't think we're saying anything. And like, I totally respect the filmmaking process. And I mean, like it is super hard to get things done, but that doesn't mean that it's not up for critique. You know what I mean? And like, I think also something I noticed that I pointed out to Daniel, was that both of the guys that commented on this were white men, cis white men who are dominant in the film industry at this moment in time. And honestly have it a lot easier than a lot of people that want to go into the film industry, so they are able to not talk about these things, right? Because at the end of the day, they're going to be fine. Yeah, which is just a reality, and you know, it's not like a dig or anything. And I think that's what these people try to make it feel like, and try to, you know, put fear into people like us who are not even in the industry. We just want to get into it. Yeah. And trying to fear us into like not speaking out. And I think it's kind of like a waterfall of things. Like if we can't talk about it on the podcast, and then we get a job and you're not able to speak your mind there, or if a place won't hire you because you talk about your opinions, you know, I feel like that is just a slippery slope into not like just conforming. And I feel like that's so harmful. No, but it's true though. I mean, 1984 is true to a certain degree.
Well, yeah, that guy,
you know what I mean?
George Orwell.
Yeah.
He knew he was there. But also, I think it's interesting that James Gunn, like, he's saying all this, but, like, he also got fired from Disney from his tweets. Because I don't remember what the tweets were. He got fired because of his tweets.
Oh, yeah.
And then they, like, and then they hired him. I don't know. That was a whole situation.
But that was, like, about children.
Oh, was it really? I never saw
Yeah, that was something weird about children, I think. Weird? I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was weird what he said.
Twitter and
because he's a comedy guy, right?
Yeah, comedians are so scary.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how that's weird that he said that, and he's literally that's his job is to make commentary on things.
That's true.
And I don't think what we do is critiquing the filmmaking process.
Okay.
I think it's like this. I think what we focus on majority of the time. I'm not saying like we've never talked shit about a shot or whatever the fuck, but I think overall, like we're talking about the societal impact that it has, like the film usually.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah, because at first I was just like, this is because I was like only focusing on. I was like, oh my god, look at I'm listening, and all I hear is me talking bad about this or talking bad about that, and we're like, oh, we hate men or something like that, and I'm just like, is that really what we want to be putting out? But then I like skip over all the parts where we're like saying smart things. Like I just like don't focus on that. I'm focusing on the parts that I'm like,
I do the opposite.
Took this clip, because so if someone took that clip out of context of like a certain thing we said, it would look bad. But you're not. But you can add the exactly.
But you can add the context, and like if it came up, not saying like we're important enough for this to happen.
No one cares.
But like, I mean, it is a fear. Like for later down the line, you know, but I think it's easily combated with the context of what we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
But I think some things I wrote down because I was just like, this is a lot. Okay. Because I don't know. I just have a lot of feelings about this because I mean, I don't know. Like it definitely is like a fear that's in my head all the time. But I also think about that with anything I post on social media, like my TikToks, whatever. Like you never know how someone's going to perceive you or perceive what you're saying. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that your opinion isn't important and shouldn't be shared. But I think like in general, if something makes you feel like that's wrong, or if it's off, or it makes you uncomfortable, you should speak on it. Because I feel like when we don't speak on it, then it kind of just internalizes in us and festers within us, and all of a sudden everybody else is thinking the same thing. Yeah. And then, but no one is saying it.
Yeah. Oh, you know? I remember the exact example that brought this up. Okay, so when we did our female horror episode, we talked about both versions of Carrie, and so we talked about the original Brian De Palma version of Carrie, and how we had issues with it because it's Carrie from the male gaze, and like it sexualized a lot of teen girls and like underage girls, and it's like gross. It's gross. Sorry. And then like after we recorded that,
not sorry.
No. Did I say sorry?
Yeah.
Oh no, not that. But after we recorded that, I would see on Twitter like people were like, "Oh, Brian De Palma's like genius filmmaking," and I was like, first of all, did not know anything about this. Sorry to my filmmaking degree, but I didn't know anything about Brian De Palma. And so then I listened back to our thing, and because I was like, we like completely trashed Brian De Palma. We literally said like we don't like Brian De Palma. And then I listened back and I was like, actually, no, we didn't, because what we said was like, this is gross how he did this for this movie, and like, no, we're not. I know the whole like the Carrie prom scene with the split screen. Okay, whatever, we get it. That's like super like huge and like filmmaking. That's not what we were critiquing.
Yeah.
Like
somebody can be like talented in like a filmmaking aspect, but they can still be a creepy person. Literally half of the male directors. Yeah. Maybe 75% of male directors like that's a thing. Like, and I mean, it's such a polarizing topic, but I mean, I don't think I'm prepared to talk about it today. But like, when you separate the art from the artist, it's that whole thing. And it's like, where do you fucking draw the line?
Yeah, because I remember my Okay, remember that Glee episode where they do the Chris Brown song?
How do we always
I don't know.
back to Glee?
It's Glee or TikTok.
Yes, I do
remember.
And
so Marley was like, okay, but Chris Brown is like an abuser, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other guy, I don't remember his name, was like, okay, but like I'm like just using his music. Like you should be able to separate it. And I remember being like, no, Marley is right. Like Chris Brown is an abuser. And I still don't like Chris Brown. But like now I'm like, okay, no, you're right. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole. I'm not equipped to talk about this right now. But I do think my opinion on this has changed.
Yeah.
And it probably will change again.
I know. It's really hard because it also like depends on the severity of what the person did, like,
and on like the type of like art it is. Because like for example, like West Side Story, the new West Side Story, we were saying in the last episode how like it's kind of uncomfortable that Ansel Elgort is in it, and like we have to watch it. Mm-hmm. Also, she looks like a child next to him, which is a whole other thing. Did you see the trailer?
I didn't see it.
It came out during the Oscars, but I was like, but we were talking about it. We were like, okay, but we want to support this new young actress that we like love. We've like seen her YouTube videos. Like she's super like talented, so it's not fair for us to be like, well, we don't like Ansel Elgort and like not watch this movie. Exactly. It's also Steven Spielberg, so like. I don't know. I think it's different, like depending the kind of art. Because also music is more of it's like a smaller team and like focusing mainly on an artist, and whereas a movie is like a huge group of people. So like I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
we'll do that another episode, but
yeah, eventually. I mean, like, yeah, it's a hard topic, and there is no right answer on it. I think is another big thing, and I think the movie that I was thinking about with this, like talking about things like beyond like. Maybe like a Letterboxd review or like a Rotten Tomatoes review that would help people that are like negatively affected by it, that are negatively portrayed in it is like Duff. Because I saw a lot of TikToks recently
also,
about it.
The way like you said it and like no one else had said it yet, and then all of a sudden like
that's what I'm saying. That's happened multiple times. But like on the podcast in general, like we'll talk about something and then like on TikTok like a couple weeks later like it'll like be a trending topic. And I'm like
someone posted like a video and they were like, oh, like this movie like affected me mentally. I can't wait till someone talks about it. I was like, we did this like 3 months ago.
I know.
But it's like
maybe we should duet it. Maybe we should find it and duet it and like.
I sent it to you. It's in messages.
We'll find it.
Okay.
We need to use TikTok better.
I post clips on it.
Sometimes my head hurts. Like to think about like original content. To think about things to go with like trending sound is literally so hard. Anyways,
I physically cannot do it.
Yeah, it makes me.
The thought of it makes me so.
And then when it flops, you feel stupid.
But also like sometimes like I'll be watching TikTok and like they'll do something and I'm like. So they like set up the camera and like went back and they did it and like the thought of it makes me like
okay
anyway
so yeah, I was thinking about the Duff when this happened because like I mean before Duff came out nobody knew what that term was.
I don't think was it a term?
I think so.
They made it up.
They definitely made it up, and because the movie was directed towards preteens, it did not help. No, it actually it just opened up a new insecurity and a new phrase to like call somebody, and it didn't do what it think it was doing. No. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody that was negatively affected by it talked about it. I mean, I feel like I avoided it completely.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to not, but I know so many people that were like plus size or felt like the Duff in general, because it doesn't have to do with like weight. It just means that you're the, you know, such a stupid term. Anyways, but it just like made everybody have a new insecurity, like looking like you're pitting yourself against your friends. And then like imagine you come to school one day after your friend had watched a Duff, and then like they have that conversation. It's like, oh my God, who's a Duff in our friend group? Like it's a cute thing. No, it's not. And I'm sure the person that got called the Duff in your friend group felt like shit, but felt like they couldn't talk about it because it was
because then everyone's gonna be like, cool. Oh, but it's like a good thing. Like, did you watch the movie? Like,
and it was like that's what good. Somebody told me. Someone's like, it's not an insult, and I was like, are you insane? Yes, it is. And that's another thing. Is like the fact that we have not had a conversation about this until now, and then also just such a small form as TikTok, because it's not reaching like every person in the world. You know what I mean? So it's just like we should be talking about this.
Yeah.
And like we shouldn't be living in fear that I mean, other people that aren't involved with like film at all, you can do whatever you want. You can talk about, and that's the weirdest thing to me. I don't know. It's just like so frustrating sometimes, feeling like you can't say anything
because you want a job.
Exactly, and
it's so annoying.
And that's so fucked up, is it not? Like, I think that's so messed up.
Yeah, it's just scary because like also like we obviously like we're just literally just starting like behind the start line. Like we're literally like tying our shoes right now. And so I think it's just like scary because it's like, okay, if we're saying all this and we like I feel like we're doing something positive. I feel like
every time I feel like good about what we said usually.
But what if like some executive sees this and is like, no, they're too outspoken. And then just like doesn't hire us because of that. That's what I was like fearing most.
Yeah, and I think I've had that scenario in my head as well. And I mean, we have the power of social media.
Oh, I was like, where is this going?
And I mean, like, that's a problem with the company, you know? Yeah. But also when you speak out against a big company, most of the time you're going to get shut out.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucked. It's so messed up, dude. Like, I always think about how like messed up the hierarchy in any sort of like job market there is. Like, I think that's so crazy. Like, if there was something wrong, if one of my employees felt like off about something that we were doing, I would want to know. But that's just not the culture of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And that's scary. Mm-hmm. That's so scary. I mean, I think we're definitely moving. We like the last episode we had was about modern female directors, and I feel like a lot of those women and like Reese Witherspoon has recently come out and like talked about media portrayals and stuff like that. And there's people in high positions that are starting the conversations, but I think the reason why I think both of us are so scared is because it's not the majority.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's people who are already famous. Yes, like no matter what they say, it's like okay, there's still that person. List. Yeah, like this name is still famous, and so they can say whatever they want. Essentially, like Beyonce can say whatever she wants. No one's gonna like not hire her because she's Beyonce, and so that's why it's like, well, if we say something and they don't hire us, well, who's gonna care?
Yeah.
Spooky.
It is spooky. So I said,
do you write in cursive?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, fun.
No matter what type of movie, television show, media it is, that there's always some connection to our reality, and these depictions of people will affect these groups in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like just evident in all the episodes that we've done.
Yeah, that's like if you think that us critiquing this is like, or critiquing movies is like, oh, they're doing too much. We're really not.
But also we're like two people, and like how big of a fucking impact could we have? Our two opinions make an impact on the industry.
That's true.
You know, that's another.
We're not gonna get like a director canceled or anything. Like it doesn't even matter. But I just think like
we could go harder, if anything.
We won't. Yeah. Oh, we won't. The things I cut out.
Oh yeah.
The things I cut out where I'm just like, okay, this was like a lot. So let's leave that on the, what is it called? The cutting table. What is that called?
Oh God, you're so close.
The something table.
I think it's floor.
Like table on the floor. Leave that on the floor.
Cutting floor.
Cutting room floor. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, okay, that's a good point. I think like I do think that like moving forward, I do want to have like discussions and like episodes and like topics that are like more like focused on the positive. I
think recently we've been doing better.
Yeah, like the modern female directors episode one was so much fun. Oh my God, let me look at this. I literally already had it pulled up. Okay.
But I've been listening to like our recent episodes, and I've already seen like a shift in our conversation.
I think it was the roundtable episode that like shook us.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, wait.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like the roundtable up. Like I feel like.
But the roundtable.
I'm still proud of everything we've done, but like I think at times, sometimes we would be too negative about a thing. But also, we talked about like super heavy topics.
Yeah, we really started off like. Really, we were like, okay, racism.
But also, there is not that many great portrayals yet in film industry. So a lot of times there's like no good things to talk about. Because usually I try to like put good things in the outline and things that are positive that we can talk about. But some topics, there's literally no good portrayals and nothing good to talk about. But that's also valid and also something that we absolutely should talk about, because that's a problem that we don't have any positive portrayals of it.
Like if we can't find something, then that means that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
That we can't find anything about it, and we can't find people who are doing that.
Because usually we find the topic that we want to talk about first, and then do the media like after, like while we're doing the outline.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me explain really quickly how because someone was like talking to me about the podcast. I was like, I just realized no one like knows the process other than us and our guests. Mm-hmm. But basically, what we do is we find someone that is like, or like someone tells us about someone that is like a student or like around our age, like a young creative person that wants to go into the entertainment industry. And so what we do is we send them, we have a list of like potential topics. All it is, it's literally like a title and like 3 or 4 movies or TV shows.
And sometimes we don't even use those ones.
Yeah. Movies or TV shows that can go along with it, just so they can get a general idea of what it's going to be. And a lot of times this changes anyway, but that's how they pick the topic. We don't tell anyone what they should talk about. We literally just give them the list, and then they decide what they want.
Or they make their own topic too.
Oh yeah, that's happened a bunch of times too. And so from that's how the discussion is guided. And so I think a lot of times, like, the topic will be like, oh, we're gonna talk about these people, but then it ends up like shifting into something like more positive. We're like, well, let's focus on the good things about this.
Well, I think also we try to like be like, okay, what can we do now? I think we kind of lost that for a little bit. Action. Yeah, I think we need to start doing that more often. Like have it in the outline, like a call to action to do.
Is this a business meeting?
I mean, kind of. I mean, I guess, but I think it's good to be transparent about it, because a lot of people want to start podcasts, and I feel like especially I've seen a lot of film and television podcasts like pop off lately. Yeah, on like TikTok and stuff. So I think it's like important to talk about, and I think like that's also like our main mission. But the whole thing was like to be transparent and like talk about things openly, you know?
Yeah, that was like the
have
whole
hard
thing we wanted to
conversations.
do. Yeah. And also like highlight, like another really like one of the main things that we wanted to do was like highlight the guests. And I think we started doing that better.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's always a learning. Also, like, I think we're also both very much people who overthink things and are very hard on ourselves. So I think this, like, listening to this, people would be like, what?
Like, no one thought about that, guys.
No, that's what I notice all the time. Like, people are like, I didn't even think about it like that. And I'm like, well, that's my mind.
Yeah, like, sorry. That's how it works up here.
And, like, we've only done 30 episodes.
I'm the only.
But, I mean, it's true.
Okay, but, like, compared to other podcasts.
But, like, I mean, like, when we're talking about critiquing ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, we've only done 30 episodes, and also we're not media trained. We're not actually in the industry. Yeah. Like, we're literally just 2 people that want to go into the industry.
Yeah.
You know? So we also have a lot to learn as well.
Yeah.
So.
Which I think it would be, well, good luck, Charlie, trying to find these people, but I think it would be interesting if we like also had a couple guests that were like, well, okay, everyone listening, let us know what you think, because I don't know. But also guests that were like also in the industry, like younger people, so that they can give their insight, because they're in it. Yeah, they're literally there. Yeah, but anything, and on top of that, it's like we're doing this podcast, but also like we're trying to get jobs. So it's
this is just like a fun thing that we started in quarantine, and I think. I also think that's an admirable trait of us, is that we don't want to like cause harm or like cause discourse. You know what I mean? I think it's good that we're thinking logically about it and like thinking about like the impacts beyond just the confines of Apple Podcast and Spotify. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. Me thinking about it. I agree.
Yeah.
I just think. Wait, hold on. I'm not going to say I just think, because I've said that like 6 times already.
Oh my God, when I'm listening back to the podcast, I'm like, I feel like, I was like, and I'm
I
like,
think. It's so annoying.
I don't know what to fill it with. I guess just take it out completely, but.
Yeah, because, like say, I just think blah, blah, you just say it instead of saying I know. Think. But it's hard to,
but it's hard because I feel like also a lot of people, like, I know.
What's going on? Oh.
My hair. But like, I feel like, But I think
okay, but we would do great in therapy.
I think it's a defense mechanism also because sometimes it's like, oh, you think this of all people. No, I don't. I feel this way. I think that's why I say it.
Well, I also don't want to come off too like cocky and like like this is what's true.
Yes.
Because I don't know if it's
true. I don't think anything we say is like
this is fact.
Exactly. And that's another big thing about this podcast. I want to be proven wrong and I want to see different sides of the situation. And that's why I love having the guest on because we have another person's opinion.
Yeah. And a lot of times they're from completely different, because I feel like our like thought bubble, our like area of the world has kind of similar like thoughts on certain topics, and then when we have the guests on, they like bring a completely different like perspective on it. I'm like, oh my god, interesting, never thought of that.
And I'm not like, ours is like super, I feel like there's podcasts that are like, oh, this is something you should know about, you know, and like it's like matter of fact and like these are facts,
like the true crime ones.
True crime. And then there's ones about like social justice and stuff like that. And I think also our podcast is a conversation, and now we just record it and put it up. It's not like this is definitive and this is our final answer on this topic, nail it in the coffin. Like I've listened back to some podcasts, I'm like, oh, I don't even think like that anymore. Like I'm like, ours? Like certain things I'll like watch again, or like I'll read something else about it and I'm like, oh, okay, I have a different opinion on it now. But I think that just should be a knowledgeable thing that every person should know about people, is like your opinion can and will probably change the more you grow, because that's more things that you're absorbing.
Yeah. You know? I also think like, oh my god, I mean,
the way this podcast is just like based in like fear of not getting a job.
And here's another thing that helped me spiral. I saw this tweet and it was like, oh, we shouldn't be pushing for oh my god, what was the word? We shouldn't be pushing for what is it called when we show someone in a movie? Oh my god, we literally use this word all the time.
Show someone in a movie?
Like like more people, like diverse people. Inclusivity? No. Representation. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nice seeing people on the screen. I mean, yeah.
Okay, that's what the word I was looking for. But I saw this thing and I was like, we shouldn't be pushing for representation. We should be pushing for change. And so I was like, oh my god, like this whole thing was a waste of time.
But both, I think they
go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's with change, you're gonna need to see representation. Yeah,
because the people who are in charge, the people who have all the power, I hate to say it, but they are white people, and a lot of times they're white men.
A lot of times they're out of touch as well with what people want, which is like really weird because they're in charge of pretty much everything.
Yeah. And so I saw that and I was like, well, I don't think I agree with this, because like if you see, like, media literally affects everything, and we talk about this all the time, but we're like, it affects the mindset of people so much. But also if you have this ideology that like, oh, the representation doesn't matter, then you're like completely ignoring the aspect of like children growing up. Like, yes, absolutely, we will be going to, like, we want change. Like, obviously that's why we started this podcast.
Change is representation.
Yeah, I think it's part of it.
I think it's hard because it's like change, especially, and I guess, I mean, we're talking about the Hollywood, so like, it's not going to be, it's going to take so much longer because, I mean, it has to start from the top. And the top does not want to listen right now because they have the ability and they have the security to pretend like they don't hear everybody. Yeah. When we all know they do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why it's important that like more stories are being told, because it forces these like huge people or important, powerful people to like see the other perspectives that aren't theirs in their comfortable little mansions. Yeah. It like forces them to like be put in other people's shoes. And also like kids aren't ready for the revolution. Like, kids are just kids and they should be allowed to be kids, but they also should be allowed to see themselves on the screen, like represented like as superheroes or whatever. Like, I know Marvel's sponsored by the military, guys. I know. But like, if a little kid sees himself as a superhero or as a Ghostbuster or like whatever it is, like, it's still important. it literally affects the brain so much more than you think.
Way more than you think.
So like by having that kind of like mentality that like, oh, representation doesn't matter, you're glossing over everyone 17 and under, and that's like a huge part of your life. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's so crucial development wise.
I'm not saying it's like the only step. I'm saying it's one of the steps.
Yeah, and that's what like exactly, like it's hand in hand. You can't have change without representation.
Yeah.
And like I know the representation feels like the bare minimum right now, especially when you know how much money and effort goes into making films and television, and how many people are like profiting off of like these, like it seems like small pushes for representation. But it's also like thinking about if you see representation and you feel like you could fit into a space, there's going to be a want for more diverse people in the industry. And then there's like, because I feel like sometimes, I mean, it is a reality, like actors, there's not enough people, but oh my god,
hello.
PIPOCs, like they don't feel like there's room for them in the industry. So I think for a long time I felt they probably felt like the odds were against them.
Yeah, and they were.
And they still are.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I know. We need to find another way to say I think.
We need to go through media training.
We need to open a thesaurus is what we need. No, but
I like having it like in plain language, because like I don't want it to be
it's accessible.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say we're the Shakespeare of our time, and then I got brought down to earth by what I was saying. Because you know how like people are like, oh, Shakespeare was accessible for that time, even though now he isn't to many people.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, Shakespeare like wanted like poor people to be able to read his stuff. He didn't want it to be like high class.
Okay.
Yeah, what a king.
Nice.
He also might not exist. I also saw that theory, but TikTok is full of
so many things. Also, that brings me to like, we need to like be critical audiences rather than passive audiences. And oh my god, when my film teacher said that to the class, I was like,
your world is changed.
Your mind, sir. That's why they pay you to be the professor in front of this class. I was literally shook to the core because I never thought about it like that. You know, like because I mean, that's just kind of like how it's been. Like you go to the movies, no thoughts head empty. But like that leads to us internalizing things and us like feeling so many types of ways, you know?
Yeah, I think okay, but I think like a lot of other people are learning this too now. So like film students, like I feel like, oh my god, I just had to think like 6 times in the past 60 seconds. I think film students that's how we're trained, right? Like to understand, to look deeper, and also I think like English people and writing people and all that kind of thing. But the general public, literally no thoughts had empty. But I think when like now, I don't know what shifted.
I think it's social media.
But like, for example, okay,
like it's a part of it.
The example I'm gonna bring up is my mother.
Okay.
She doesn't have social media. Well, she has Twitter, but just to like stalk me and my brother. And so we were watching a movie the other day in the theaters. Fun fact, theaters are open again. So fun. There was no one else in the theater because it was a bad movie. But
I've been to movie theaters like twice. Once.
Yeah, me too. They were both bad movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know about it. But we were watching this movie and we were like 30 minutes through, and my mom turns to me and she's like, was this written by a guy? And I was like,
she's been listening to our podcast.
Maybe. It's like,
she has, right?
She's only listened to the first episode. I told her not to because I was like, it's going to affect my discussion. And so I looked it up, and yes, it was written by a guy, but I was just shook that my mom was like thinking about that now. I was just like, okay. I just had never assumed that she was going to like, I thought she was more of a no thoughts empty moviegoer, but now that like we were watching the movie, I was like, yeah, this is a very misogynistic movie.
Also like you've probably said something to her about it. So like I think that's important that kids are talking to their parents about it because like what you said, like your parents don't really, I mean, my mom's literally always on Facebook. So
Facebook is
it's terrifying. I open it sometimes and I immediately close it.
My grandma was like
scared.
No, yeah, she was like, I don't know, like they're saying that like, I don't know what people are saying on Facebook. I don't know what side of Facebook they're on, but they're saying that like the amount of vaccine misinformation that's on there is shocking.
Yeah.
And no one fact checks.
Well,
Okay, this is bringing it back to what you were saying. Like, no one fact checks anything online. They just see it and take it for face value. Especially like on TikTok, someone will just say something
on Twitter, like on literally everything,
and then people just run with it. They're just like, okay, let's go.
Okay, yeah, this is the truth.
Yeah,
and no Google searches after, no academic research.
No, there's this one lady I follow on TikTok. She's a oh my god, she has like so many degrees. Hold on, let me pull her up real quick. Dr. Ina Kanevsky, PhD, psych professor, mom Jewish, atheist, Russian-speaking ex-Soviet refugee. Okay, fine.
Whoa.
But what she does is she like debunks TikToks, and like so someone will post like, okay. Well, I won't. I'll show it to you later. But basically, someone will be saying something about like mental health. They're like, "Did you know that like chewing on straws means that you hate your parents or something like that?" And everyone replies and they're like, "That makes so much sense." And then she replies and she's like, "There's no basis in this." And then she pulls up like receipts, like scientific studies. And I'm like, this is what we need more of on social media because no one fact checks. And also like the new Twitter feature where it's like, if you try to retweet an article, it's like, "Did you read it?"
It says that?
Yeah, look, I'll show you right now. It's like, "Oh, do you want to like read it first?" Or something? Maybe not that passive aggressive, but hold on, let me find an article. Okay, like this Variety article. I might have already clicked on it. Yeah, I already clicked on it.
That's fun that they're doing that though.
Yeah, I was okay, like this one. Want to read the article first? You're about to share an article you haven't opened on Twitter.
That's a great feature to add. Because I think sometimes, especially on social media, it's kind of just an echo chamber, and also just like you press two buttons and then you appear to be intelligent because you share an article when you actually didn't read it.
Or a little pretty Instagram post.
Exactly. Little infographic. Just some food for thought. I mean, we're all guilty of it. 100%. Like you just see the headline, you think you know what the article is, but the headline, friends, is just to draw you in to read the article, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the article is about. It's just what was catchy to
the audience.
Exactly.
Period.
Journalism 101, friends. I literally had journalism 101
in college. Journalism.
Makes my head hurt. I don't like writing. I don't like writing. Oh yeah. I don't like writing at all. That was such a hard class.
Speaking of writing, I just finished my last semester. Well, I'm about to finish my last semester of college. Well, by the time this is no, I'm about to finish my last semester of college, and I like followed a bunch of my screenwriting classmates because I'm like, we gotta get these people on our Hollywood. So there's gonna be a screenwriting month on our Hollywood.
2 months.
2 months maybe because like I just think there's so many. Well, like when I'm in these like screenwriting classes, I'm like, these people have so many fun perspectives on the world that I have not seen yet. And so that's what we kind of want to do with the podcast. We're like, well, let's highlight people that like aren't usually what is on the spot in Hollywood. That wasn't a sentence. So thank you everyone so much for listening to season 2 of our Hollywood. I had so much fun. These were some really fun episodes. Next time I will. Oh wait, I was gonna say next time I won't do it while I'm in school, but ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Ew, that's so scary. Because I want to be able to focus a lot more on like the content. Well, yeah, well, follow us on all of our social media accounts because that's when you'll find out when season 3 is coming out. I'm very excited for that. And then we have other stuff coming out first. Maybe the short film.
We're gonna work on it this summer. That's like our task this summer.
Yeah, we're not starting season 3 until that thing is online.
Anyways, yeah, short film to come. I'm so ready for the short film to be out.
But then maybe we can't even like put it on because we enter into festivals. We can't even put it online yet.
Sometimes you can.
Oh.
We just have to read the fine print.
Okay. Well, things are coming. Oh my god, that's not knowing.
Anyways, I am glad we had this conversation. I think it's good for everybody to know, honestly. And like, I mean, because that like the tweet or excerpt that we read earlier, like that is 100% valid. And I mean, filmmaking is really hard to do and it's hard to break it in, but it's also important to talk about context and what comes after.
Yeah.
You know,
and we will, and I think that the next you'll notice a shift probably in our upcoming episodes and like the way it's formatted, the way like the tone of it
because we're trying to
overall.
take it more seriously, I guess, is what like.
Yes, we're also okay because like a lot of times like when we're doing this, I'm like, well, I do want it to be a little bit lighthearted because it's like really dark, but I also don't want it to seem like we're taking it as a joke. So that's also a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, season 3 coming soon. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Get vaccinated.